studio assistant. You gonna tell me what to say? What are your answers gonna be? What drives you in the studio, Lenny? My name is Sam Hamilton. I also go by Tam Ham. I live in Portland, Oregon, Pacific Northwest, and I am a interdisciplinary working class artist, originally from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Yeah. This is Lenny. You know, I think from a very young age, art and as a practice and just like an influence, I think it saved my life. It gave, from a very young age, I identified it as the thing that gave me a sense of purpose and a sense of normalcy in the world. It made me understand who I was and what my place in the world was, and was very much like a guide in the absence of a lot of other maybe stable guides. Creative practice and other artists really provided that for me, and I think that just never stopped. It's always just been this kind of a source of survival, I think, just in the sense that I don't know what I would do without it, and I don't know what life would be like without it, and I assume it would not be very good. Yeah, I don't think I would be, not that I'm a super happy person, but certainly it has been the tool that I've used to find the things in life that give it meaning for me. So I think a lot of it's just about that. It's about survival. I mean, sometimes it's about inspiration, but a lot of times it's not. A lot of times I'm not inspired at all. It's like a mundane chore that I just have to wake up and do, and it's a pain in the butt. I still love it, but it's not necessarily always inspiring. But it's certainly driven by something. I think that drive is just the life purpose, if that makes sense. Yeah. Art has always been this way to kind of engage in the world. It's not just something I do for pleasure, although it brings me a lot of pleasure, of course. It's also just kind of it's a mechanism for inquiry and kind of when I think about the purpose of what art is and why it exists in my life and exists in life in the world in general. I do believe that it's plays a really important infrastructural role in the world to bring forth new dimensions to what human life is. I think it's been so siloed and by contemporary kind of worldviews and capitalism. But in my mind, it's an absolutely fundamental dimension of human evolution. Language, architecture, clothing, food, all of these things are rooted in our ability to think and be creative. And how that plays out for me personally, it's a very deep driving force in my own practice. I have been in conversations because of this project, which is it's a wacky, silly kind of project in a lot of ways. Yet, on the other hand, I've had conversations, direct conversations with people inside the New Zealand Government and Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade, inside the UN, inside the UN Pacific Forum, inside the New Zealand Permanent Mission to the United Nations, the Royal Observatory of Greenwich, Royal Museums Greenwich, and then all of, art institute folks. The conversation has been big and wide. Oh, and academics and universities as well. And so there's a huge potential with this project to cross over and be more than just this art context, but live in the world context. So it's big, and that's exciting. It's terrifying and extremely exhausting, but it's something really interesting. And Te Moana Meridian, the project that I am currently working on, involves a lot of people. I have a very large team, both technical and production people and artistic collaborators and advisors, and there's a lot. There's 40 people involved. And for the most part, I'm working with people I know. People are, friends. A lot of them are genuine friends. And that it feels really important to me. I really appreciate that. And it means that, it complicates things in the way that it's not just a classic, clear, cold, professional structure, because there are all these familial, personal relationships interwoven into it, but in a way that's really exciting and gratifying to me, because those relationships, if managed right, I think they can also not work together, but if managed right, there's a lot of potential for that to just be something even more, the sum of all of these different dimensions, the professional capacity as well as their social kind of relational capacity, and to care for both of those, to kind of have these two channels of a relationship with people, the personal and the professional, and to try and care and balance those and manage those in a way, there's a lot of potential in there. Potential which I think echoes not just in terms of strengthening the project, but also hopefully beyond that, and just thinking about how we live together, how we, as people, as neighbours, as cities, as communities. I can give two kind of answers to what community means to me. One's a very practical and pragmatic kind of professional one, and then one would be a personal kind of vision. In a practical capacity, I have no formal qualifications. I never got to go to school. I don't even have a high school degree. And I've been a full-time practicing artist and working in the arts for 20 years, constantly full-time, many different jobs, many different roles, many different places all around the world. And almost all of it came from people I knew and them knowing what I did and what I was capable of. And in that sense, community has been the source of my survival as a